Hey, welcome back to Devoted Faith, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving this past week. I know mine certainly was an eventful day. We had an interesting start to the morning because as we were around eating breakfast, I had the family around the table, we were getting ready to eat our cinnamon buns. All of a sudden, we smelled smoke and a really hot fire burning. Then the smoke detector went off downstairs. So my wife and I, we took the kids, we got them outside. I ran downstairs and shut the wood stove down, only to realize that the chimney was on fire. So it was scary, and it really got my attention. But I realized during that time of trying to put that fire out that God wanted to speak to me. And I had been so busy all morning long, running around, that I really hadn't taken the time to sit and thank God for what He had given me. And He made it so clear that morning that I was able to reflect on the fact that even if I lost my house and everything in it, I still had my family. And that really made me extremely thankful for them. And, it was just what I needed on that day. But God uses different things in our life to get our attention, to speak to us. He does. And He used to do that back with the Israelites as well. And in Deuteronomy chapter 4, we see the Israelites were at a point where they're getting ready to enter into the promised land. They're looking across the Jordan River as they're getting ready to go in. And they've been wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. And so Moses is reminding them of all the great things that God had done for them and that He is the one true God. And so God used different ways to get the Israelites' attention. And so through my reading this past week in Deuteronomy chapter 4, I want to show you what Moses tells them before they head in. This is in verse 33. Moses says, "Has any people heard the voice of God speaking from the midst of the fire as you have heard it and survived? Or has a God tried to go to make for himself a nation from within another nation by trials, by signs and wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by an outstretched arm, and by great terrors, as the Lord your God did for you in Egypt before your eyes?" And then in verse 36, he says, "Out of the heavens He let you hear His voice to discipline you. And on earth He let you see His great fire, and you heard His words from the midst of the fire." Now Moses is reflecting on what God had done, right? And he points out to the Israelites, he did this all to show them that God is the one true God. But how important it also is to listen to Him when He speaks. God gave the Israelites many wake-up calls throughout their time. When He wanted to speak to them, He would give them a wake-up call, whether it was in the wilderness or in Egypt. And He does the same for us. Usually, God gets us to stop what we're doing by disrupting our plans. And that's what He did to me with the chimney fire on Thanksgiving morning. Man, He disrupted my plans and got me to think about what He was trying to tell me. But we need to allow those events in our life, whether it's good or bad, to motivate us to turn to God and ask Him, "Lord, what are you trying to teach me through this? Are you trying to speak to me? What is it?" So don't miss what the Lord wants to tell you. Don't wait for Him to get your attention with something real serious or life-changing. Use it as an opportunity right now as a wake-up call, a call to make a change in your life, and lean in and listen to what God's telling you. Hey, I hope you have a great week, and I'm looking forward to worshiping with you all this Sunday. God bless.